The last decade of HR technology was about tools. The next decade will be about intelligence.
And we're back. So last year at this time, we were in Spain, Madrid. This time we're in beautiful Mallorca. Big changes since then.
Big changes.
So we're on stage, early February, and you pretty much laid it all out that everything's changing. It's not about fixing old stuff. It's about breaking it and getting into a new paradigm. I know that word's overused, but still, I think it's apropos for this. So, and it worked.
Yeah, it did.
Talk about that.
Well, I think what you saw was a company that embraced the unknown, embraced change, ran at it with a really focused vision, some passion behind it, and some real energy around just making hiring easy, which is exactly what our vision was 15 years ago. And I realized that pushing people around one very focused objective, which is exactly what we did, getting people excited to get to an outcome and doing that together as one can be a really powerful thing.
Through this acquisition, it seems like you guys have, every company has its own superpower. And SmartRecruiters had a different superpower this time last year. And that superpower for me was introspection and understanding that a pivot was necessary. So this year, after that, in a flip, big pivot, acquisition, what do you feel like your superpower is today?
I actually think it's very similar to where it was last year. Okay. It is understanding the moment we're in, the environment that's around us, and being clear that one pivot is never going to be enough. We're always going to have to constantly be looking forward and seeing where things are going. You know, Rebecca stood on the stage yesterday, and I think she said something really compelling. If last year we said the way we understand the ATS is no longer relevant, and it really is about recruiting AI. I think this year we firmly stood up on the stage and said, okay, guys, we were a best in breed. We are vested in that. We understand that psychology. We understand who our buyer was in that space. But the world has changed dramatically. Now it's about data, and it's about how that data interconnects and how you can leverage that data across the full life cycle of the experience. And that means best of breed is no longer either relevant or valuable at this point.
For years, the HR tech industry was built on a simple idea: use the best tool for each job. So companies assembled their HR systems piece by piece. But the result wasn't a system. It was a collection of disconnected parts.
Wow. And you're in a different position now because you are going to have access probably to more data than any other suite of companies having access to that data. But then being able to interconnect with that data isn't always the easiest thing to do. How in the hell are you going to get to it? How are you going to integrate to the point where you have access to data and you can start having that business discussion as opposed to just the tiny little recruiting discussion?
100%. I mean, listen, Chad, you and I first got to know each other over almost a decade ago. Well, I was sitting in Intel and having this conversation and saying, this is ridiculous, the way we are operating in these silos and the information isn't connected to each other. And it's not just about hiring somebody, it's about understanding who they are, how they grow, how they develop, and then navigating through that full experience of their work. Right now in this industry and across multiple industries, the answer is going to be, can you navigate and manage integration well? How you think about integration is going to be the innovation of the future. How we can connect those data sources.
For 30 years, enterprise software was built system by system. Each tool solved one problem. None of them were designed to work together. AI changes the equation. Intelligence depends on data flowing across systems, and most enterprise software was never designed for that.
So what I anticipate users experiencing around SAP in the future is a singular conversational interface. And they will receive data from across every single one of the SAP modules, including SmartRecruiters, through that interface, which hopefully sits in the flow of work and is owned by SAP and produces data, insight, recommendation, answers to key business problems.
When systems finally connect, the software fades into the background. What matters is the experience people have while they work.